What's up guys, my name is Andre and welcome to a new video. Today, I got 95% of my computer parts and today I'm gonna, sort of give you a tour of all the parts that I got from Levi. A super nice friend of mine. He is the guy that basically ran after all of these parts that you're going to see in this video. So, leave a like on this video just because of him. It's just, I have no words really to describe how thankful I am, because I was the guy really with the money and with sort of the idea of what I wanted, and we kind of worked like a team, going back and forth on benchmarks and prices and things to try to get the best bang for the buck that we have, to fit inside our budget, and we did it. So today I present to you the parts that are going to make up for my PC. Some people are gonna freak out on these parts, like, dude, why didn't you get a 7700K and a GTX 1080 or two 1070s or whatever? You're so dumb. Shut up. I already explained all of this in a previous video, so if you want to see that video, click on the card here right now. Anyway, let's go for the parts. Okay, so what you're seeing right now is, or are, the crown of my computer. These are two EVGA GeForce GTX 970s superclocked ACX 2.0. So I got two of the same cards. They are even the same revision, because as you can see down here, the end of the cards are closed, and also if you look on the back, there is no BIOS switch in the board. Both are exactly the same revision. Only the second one came with a box. It's a little bit unfortunate. The first one didn't come with anything at all, but the second one came with a box and most of the original, goodies that came with the box. So the first card, which is this one, still has the stickers because this one I removed. Sorry, it's out of focus. So this is the first card I bought. I used it for a couple months. This one I paid €145. Without the box and without the accessories. And this second one I got just right before we sent Levi sent me the box. I paid for this one €185 with the box and pretty much all of the accessories with it. So to power the computer and to make sure that I'll never have to buy a power supply anymore, I got a Corsair RM850. Sorry about the AIO on top of the power supply. Here it is, full modular power supply, 850 watts. It's basically one of the best power supplies that are out there. I scored this one, Levi scored this one for me for €70, plus another €70 for shipping to him. And it came with pretty much all the cables, but it came with no box. Okay. So here is the cherry on top of the cake, pretty much. I don't know what order I'm trying to say these things out, but anyway, this is an Asus P9X79 motherboard, the first revision of the socket 2011. Under the AIO pump, we got a Core i7-3930K. This chip was slapped to improve thermals, and we got 32 gigabytes of ECC non-registered RAM. This is DDR3 running at 1600 megahertz. And to cool the 3930K, I've got a Cooler Master Sadon 120V AIO with a Be Quiet 120mm fan mounted on it. Sorry about the weird framing and lighting right now, because it's a little bit awkward to film this. But this is pretty much all I got. Right here on the side, you can see the Asus P60 SE, which is the motherboard that I was originally going to use on my main computer. Right now I have the Xeon X5670 mounted on it, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to mine some money in bitcoins, and I'm going to get more RAM for this card. I'm gonna get some RAM for this motherboard because I don't want to ruin the quad channel. These are exactly the same sticks. They're even from the same lot, if I'm not mistaken. These are brand new memory sticks. So I don't want to ruin the quad channel that I got in that computer. So I'm gonna buy another stick of, I don't know, 4 or 8 gigabytes of RAM to use in this rig. and then I'm probably gonna get a GTX 960 or something, just for mining. And that's pretty much it. So this is the motherboard that I was originally going to use on my Mii computer, but more money came, and then I just said, screw it. Let's just go with a Socket 2011 build, because originally I was going to have two computers, the Xeon X5670, and then we were planning to get another system, another system that would have a 2600K on it. You know, a more mainstream rig, because for those who know, the LGA 2011 and the LGA 1366 sockets, they are enthusiast sockets as Intel call them. So they got no onboard video, and they're pretty much optimized to do overclocking. I mean, this chip runs at 3.6 stock, 3.8 boost. Right now it is running at, I overclocked it to 4.3 gigahertz, and I think I pretty much disabled Turbo Boost. In case you noticed, yes, one of the locks for the PCI Express slot is broken. I don't know how that came to happen, but it doesn't matter, for me at least. I mean, the cards still work, and well, I don't worry about it anyway. So, there's one problem about the 3930K, is that as you can see, there's no North Bridge in these motherboards anymore, because this is Sandy Bridge E. So we only have the South Bridge right now, which controls, you know, the SATA, the PCI, the USB, and the sound. So the PCI Express lanes in you know, the first generation of Socket 2011 is already supplied by the CPU. So the 3930K is able to supply, I don't know, 16 lanes of PCIe 2.0, and that's pretty much the end of it. If I went with a 4930K, not only would the chip overclock better, because, you know, it's a smaller lithography. This is 32 nanometers. If I moved to Sandy Bridge, I think I would to Ivy Bridge, which is the 4930K. I think that is either 28 or 22 nanometers. I think the cards are 28 nanometers, but Ivy Bridge is supposed to be either 28 or 22 nanometers. So the chip would overclock better, because it's a smaller lithography, and because it's a newer chip, it already supports PCIe 3.0, although it's still 16 lanes only. If I'm not mistaken, the fastest chip that I can put in here are some Xeon's chips, but, you know, consumer Core i7s, I think the fastest chip I can put in here, I don't know if it even exists, but it would be the 4960X. That would be the fastest chip that I can put here, the fastest consumer chip I can put in here. If not, then there are some 10-core 20-thread Xeons out there, but they're stupidly expensive, and as the core count goes up, the performance per core goes down. So right now this chip is performing faster than a 7700K, because it is overclocked. We've got 32 gigabytes of RAM at quad channel. I don't even know if a 7700K will do quad channel, because it's a mainstream platform. This is an old HEDT platform, and pretty much I'm happy with it. So this is it. Two GTX 970s. A Corsair AM850, a Cooler Master Sadon 120V, a P9 X79 from Asus, and a 3930K with 32 gigabytes of RAM. This is pretty much my computer now. I am going to get some cash to first get a better case, because this is the shit box that I'm going to be mounting all of this cool stuff in. And second, I will get some money to buy some hard drives, because currently I have a 500 gigabyte hard drive for my games and a 750 gigabyte hard drive for Windows and all my stuff. So I'm quite limited in storage, because the only reason why I was able to afford all of this is because I sold a lot of computers, and that included selling the hard drives that I was using in my computer for a long time. So I just kind of, this is why this whole NAS server down here even exists, because I sold all of the hard drives that I was using in my computer, and so I had to use the old ID hard drives that I had laying around to store some of the less important things that I just can't bother to go through and see what I can and what I cannot delete. So yeah, this is pretty much it. Enough talk. I'm gonna start by cleaning this desk up, or perhaps just freeing the space in here, and taking off that computer from there, so that we can, you know, assemble this computer in there, because it's kind of a mess. Well, it's quite of a mess to have a computer as a rig like this. Sure, the thermals are pretty good, but yeah, it just looks messy. So I want to kind of organize these things. So I'm mounting on that shithole just for now, until I get some cash going. The Core i5 that is in there, I'm going to sell it because, as you can see, a CRT is pretty much my main display right now, and I hate it. I hate CRTs as my main display for the sole reason that the picture quality is not sharp enough and the resolution is quite low most of the time. This one will do 1280 by 960 at 72 Hz max, but it will do up to 100 Hz if I go to like 640 by 480, which is bullshit. But anyway, I'm selling that Core i5. I'm going to get some cash. In fact, I think I already have someone that would like to buy this machine, so he's going to pay me an amount in advance. I'm going to buy some memory, a hard drive, and a fan for this. I'm also going to buy a power supply and a case. All of that I'm going to get for pretty cheap, like under 400 BRL. Assemble the entire machine, format for install Windows in it, and sell it for get the rest of the money once the machine is all done. So this is my plan for now. Unfortunately, I was going to give the machine to a friend of mine, but things are just burning up right now, and I need cash to fix my shit. So anyway, what am I going to do with this? Because this is still a pretty fast rig. This is a 5670, a Xeon X5670. It can be overclocked very hard. It supports triple channel. This is another HEDT platform from the past. And in fact, what I'm going to be doing with it is either I'm going to be running my NAS. Well, I won't be running my NAS because my NAS is entirely made out of IDE hard drives, and this one only has 2 IDE channels instead of 4 in this motherboard down there. So I'm going to be running some servers off of this, or perhaps I'm going to use this as my main mining rig, running this 24/7 because I have free power now. I have achieved free energy. Not through perpetual motion machines, but because, I just did some stuff around here and now I have free power forever. So, I don't have to worry about this because I have a power meter under my desk and I can see how much this computer sucks power. It's insane when it's under full load. It's absolutely nuts the amount of power that it sucks. Anyway, so this one, I'm going to mine a bunch of shit using both of these cards. So I'm going to mine some cash, get some cards going, and then I'm going to buy, possibly, I can mine to get a 960 for this machine, and then I can mine for a long time and probably buy one GTX 1070 or a 1080 to put on my main system, and then, get another 1080. And, just by mining, because I sort of got into mining, and I just love mining, it's just awesome. So, this is going to be my main mining rig. Pretty much. And I know people are going to hate me for that because I'm buying cards to mine. So, there we go. Now it really is enough talk. Let's get to the awful task of taking that thing apart. So, the most keen of you will notice that a lot of time has passed since that last cut, and that is because I had to get some screws. So the problem is, these screws are quite hard to find in my opinion, or at least in my area. So I had a friend of mine which his computer shop went bankrupt, and I asked him for, a bag of screws so I could continue assembling my computer. So he just, gave me this amount. I think I'll probably have to go out and actually buy these screws, buy like a pack of 100 or something of these screws. because as a PC builder, even though the main, normally the PCs that I build, they're all like simple, office machines. They still use a ton of these screws per machine, so I'll have to go out and buy a pack of these screws. And so now we can continue building my PC. And here's the piece of shit. I hate to tell you that cable management is a concept that doesn't exist in my book. And also, this is the shittiest case I ever had the displays to work with. But everything is in there, and possibly it works. One problem that I had while I was installing the graphics cards is that, these aluminum covers that cover the slots when the case is brand new, while I was trying to remove those, they kind of scraped off the paint of the motherboard, and I hope that they haven't broken any trace of the audio section down there, which is my biggest worry right now. So, everything is in place, everything appears to be fine. I even installed the I/O plate this time. I never installed this because normally I use desktop 7200 RPM hard drives, and they vibrate like mad, and then the entire thing hums at 120 Hz, and this thing produces a loud buzzing noise, which I hate with all my core. So, everything is in there. It looks ugly as hell, but it's going to be well more organized than having this, this test bench just laying on top of my desk and taking up a bunch of space. This thing is heavy as shit. So, yeah, it makes sense because we got a 4 kilo power supply in there, which is basically like, let's see, 1 kilo would be 2.2, so, that wouldn't be 8.88 pounds, right? Like 10 pounds only the power supply. That would be a little bit nuts because the whole box was, yeah, it would make sense because the whole box was 22 pounds, right about 10 kilos. So yeah, a big culprit of the weight of the box was really the power supply. Anyway, let's put this into place and try turning it on. I don't know what's gonna happen because of that scraped paint in the motherboard. I'm really concerned about that. So we're gonna test that out now and see what happened. And we got everything in place. So now we're feeding power through it. I see the LED coming up. And power. The lights are normal. That at least I know. And the pump sound is even worse. When we got the system in the case. Anyway, we got video. So yeah. Can't say enough for the audio section where the paint of the motherboard was scraped off a little bit, but the card seems to be working, and well, I think that's it. Now I have my bench back to do whatever. Sort of. Half of it is being used by all this crap, so I'll have to clean that up later. But mostly, that's it. The audio seems to be working too. I heard Windows thing, the Windows audio thing play, and that's pretty much it. Now, one thing I'll do right now is I'll have to connect the speed regulator back to the pump. I'll try to isolate this thing a little bit because it's very crude, but it works its function. So, yes. Anyway, this is the system. It's right there. It's booted up. It's working fine, thankfully. And that's pretty much it. I have a friend that's coming over to see this masterpiece. You know, Sergeant Hartman from Full Metal Jacket once said, "You're so ugly you can be a modern art masterpiece," and this is pretty much what this is.
You're so ugly you can be a modern art masterpiece.
So, thank you guys for watching this video. I don't know if you guys want to see some benchmarks of this computer. I was pleasantly surprised to see that most of the games that I play, except for Minecraft of course, they do support SLI and they make full use of both cards. So I'm very glad about that. And the Core i5 that I just, dumped, it's right there in my bed. I'm gonna sell it and try to get a Full HD panel. Anyway, thank you guys for watching this video, and I'll see you guys in the next one.